Hello grade 3, how are you doing? I hope everything is fine. Today's lesson is compare and order decimals, which is very easy, very fun to make. So this is our chapter 13, lesson 4. Please open your page 422. For comparing decimals, basically, it's very easy. You only need to know that how we start. Ones, tens, hundreds. Again, ones, tens, hundreds. So while comparing, we will compare first the ones, then we're gonna move to the tens, and basically we're gonna move to the hundreds. Let's do this together. Of course, you remember Mr. Great, yeah? Basically, my grade 3, you were like my first. When you were in like grade 1, I remember my first lesson with you was greater than, less than, and equal to, and I'm sure that you remember that. And you saw Mr. Great. Basically, today, this is before the last lesson that we have, actually. So I will just finish it with you with Mr. Great. So we started with Mr. Great and we're kind of finishing with Mr. Great, so I don't know, I feel weird a little bit. So let's start. Okay. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna compare with greater, less than, greater than, or equal to. What we do for comparing, let's watch in here. It's very easy, very fun. 0 and 0, so they are the same. Then 3 and 4, who is greater? 3 or 4? 4, so Mr. Great will open his mouth and eat number 4. You see how I did it? So Mr. Great likes to eat what? Big numbers. Super. So it means here that my 0.3 is greater than 0.4. Now here, 0 and 0, 1 and 9, who's greater? 9. So it means Mr. Great will eat 9. Now here I have 8 tens and 0.8. We know that 8 tens, and if you want to write the decimal of it, or you can write the fraction of this so you can compare. We're gonna make them the same. When you will come here and try to make this as a decimal, we're gonna say we have a 10, so it means 0, no mixed number, so we're gonna start with a 0. Then we're gonna put our point. We have 10, it means one number after the point, which is 8. So this is my decimal. Oops, do you see? It's the same number. Correct, it means they are equal. Now we're gonna do in here is basically the same thing. We're gonna see 7 tens, it means 0. We're gonna make this fraction to decimal so we can compare. So 7 tens, we don't have a mixed number, so we're gonna start with our 0. We're gonna put our point, then we're gonna have a 7. Now we can compare 5 and 7, who's greater? 7. So Mr. Great has a big tummy, he likes big numbers. So you're gonna eat this 1. Here we're gonna start comparing the ones, they are the same. The tens are the same. Now the hundreds, you can see here, who's greater, 1 or 5? Super, 5. So Mr. Great will eat the greater number. Super. The same thing here, 3 and 3, 5 and 5, and here we have 5 and 2. Mr. Great will eat. Super, grade 3, amazing. Okay, here we're gonna do the same thing, 0 and 0. Oops, here we have 3. Here we have 1. Shall we just go to the hundreds? No need, because we already know that here the 3 is greater than the 1. So the whole number here is greater than the other number in there. So Mr. Great will open his mouth and eat this number. Again, here we're going to have 6 and 2. So who's greater? 6. That's it. Mr. Great going to eat it. He's not going to wait to see more. So here we have 7 and 7, 0 and 9. Who is greater? Actually, the 9. And if you add here a 0, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to still, this one is greater, okay? So this is for comparing the decimals, and this is how we compare them. Here you have another thing, which is ordering them. Now, if we can compare them, it's very easy for us to order them, basically. So let's read this. Order decimals. Write an order from the least to the greater. Remember, when you have order decimals or order any numbers, when you have this order word, you really need to see the question. Do they want from the least to the greatest or from the greatest to the least? Because it could differ. Okay, so they gave us 1.21, 1.29, and 1.27. To order decimals, compare the value, the place value of the digits. So basically, you're going to compare between them. We have 1, 1, 1. So we're going to pass to the tens. For the tens, we have 2, 2, 2. It means we're going to pass to the hundreds. To the hundreds, we have 1, 9, 7. And they want from the least. Which one is the least? 1, 9, or 7? Basically, this is the first one, which is the least. And then we're going to have the 7 is the second one. And then the third one going to be this one because it's the greatest. So this is from the least to the greatest. This is what they did basically in here. We compare the ones, then the hundreds, and then the tens. What I said? The ones, the tens, and then the hundreds. So the 1 is less than the 7 is less than the 9. So this is basically what I told you. Okay, and here they said you're gonna order from the greatest, from the least to the greatest, using a number line. So this is how we use our number line. You just point those numbers on your number line, and then you're gonna write them from the least to the greatest. Super easy to make, super fun to make. Now for those exercises are basically the same thing. When you see that you have a number that is as a fraction, you know now how to deal with it. You're only gonna make it as a decimal. So here we're gonna have 8 tenths, it means 0.8. Okay, and you see your question here, they want from the least to the greatest. Actually the answers are here, so I show you how you should make it. Just wait. Okay, here they are, the answers. Forget about those here, we're not dealing with money. So this is the answer of number 10 and number 13. Okay, remember it's from the least to the greatest. Here is the answer, number 11 and 14, you can screen them. Here are the answers of number 12 and 15. And that's it for today's lesson. And tomorrow is going to be our last lesson for this year. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.